Number 32, this is another mixture question. It says, how much pure acid, and by pure acid, it means 100%, should be mixed with 6 gallons of 50% acid solution in order to get an 80% acid solution. Well, let me illustrate this situation with a picture. So at first, you have 100% for the acid solution, pure acid solution, and you want to mix this with a 50% solution. So you want to mix them together, and then at the end, you want to produce an 80% solution, okay? And then just like how I did it last time for the number 31, I put the concentrations on the pictures. Just like, when you go out and buy wine or buy any like alcohol, they tell you how strong the alcohol is, right? Like a beer or like wine, 10%, 20% or things like that. Anyways, same thing. Label the picture with the concentrations, the percentages, okay? And now the question is, we would like to know how much pure acid should we use? So that's something that we don't know. Let me label that. Let me just say X gallons for the 100%, okay? And then right here it says 6 gallons of the 50% acid solution. So for the 50%, we know that it's 6 gallons, okay? And then at the end it says, I want to get an 80% acid solution, but then I don't know. I didn't say anything about how many gallons we have. Well, just think about it. If you have 10 gallons right here, and then mix with a 6 gallon, altogether, don't you get 16 gallons at the end? How do we do that? We just put the X plus 6. That must be the final amount that we have. Well, that's the labeling, the concentration, and also the volumes. X gallons for the 100%, 6 gallons for the 50%. At the end, you will get an X plus 6 gallons of 80%. But this is not an equation yet. This is kind of like an equation. If you put X plus 6, you do get X plus 6. This doesn't do any good, okay? Now the next equation is this. You're going to take all the percentages and then change that to decimal first. So we'll do that. 100% is like 1. Because 100% is like, okay, the decimal is right here. So you move the decimal point once, twice to the left, and you have 1, okay? 50%, change that to a decimal, it's 0.5. 80%, change that to a decimal, it's like 0.8, okay? What we want to do is take the concentration times the volume and produce the next equation. We'll do it. I will take 1 and then multiply with x. So I have 1x for this part. And then for the second one here, I will take 0.5 and then multiply with 6. Okay, multiply with 6. At the end, I will take 0.8. Oops, 0.8. Let me just put 0.8 like this. I want to multiply with x plus 6. But then I need to figure out what's x plus 6 first. So I will need to use a parentheses right here. So it's going to look like this. 0.8 and then parentheses x plus 6. You must have this parentheses because you need to calculate the final amount first before you multiply. You must calculate the final amount first before you multiply. Okay? So when you multiply the concentration with the volume, you get this. Concentration with the volume, you get that. Concentration with the volume, you get this. At the end, if you add the first two together, you must have the third one. And this is the equation that we are going to use to solve for x. Because the first equation, it's kind of like redundant. X plus 6 is equal to x plus 6, right? But then this is the equation that we are going to use to solve for x. And let's do it. So here I will have x, and we'll add 0.5 times 6, that's 0.3, and that's equal to 0.8 in front of the parentheses. So I have to take the 0.8 and distribute it into the parentheses. And real quick, we will get what? 0.8x and 0.8 times 6, we get 0.48. Put all the x on one side, put all the numbers on the other side, solve for x. That's good. So let me just minus 0.8x on both sides. This way, they will cancel out. This is a plus 0.3, so let me minus 0.3 on both sides. So this way, they will cancel out. Okay, here we have x minus 0.8x. This is like 1x right here, right? So what we need to do is, we just need to do 1 minus 0.8. We will get 0.2x. And these are gone already. And we have that equals to 0.48 minus 0.3. We get 0.18. So here we have 0.2x equals to 0.18. How do we solve for x? Well, divide both sides by 0.2. Divide both sides by 0.2. Cancel this, cancel that. And what do we get? X is equal to what? X is equal to 0.18 over 0.2. And you should tell me the answer is 9. 9 gallons of the pure acid solution. And the answer for that is choice B. And that's it. And this one also deserves another happy face.